Greetings and welcome back to SmartWatchTix.com. Zeblaze has got a new addition to the ARES line. We're up to the third, and of course, it's got a bigger, better screen. It's got better sensors in here, up to 4 diodes, I think, for doing all of your biometrics. Better battery, you name it. It's a really sweet watch, and it's available directly from the Zeblaze official store on AliExpress. Here's the listing. You got the link in the show notes to bop you over there. Right now it's in a flash sale. You're looking at under $35 for one of these things. Hardened to IP68, definitely waterproof, lots of mil standard tests were met with this one. And of course it's got Bluetooth calling. In terms of other specs, here we go. 100 plus different sport modes, 300 or more watch faces you can put in this one. 360 by 360 pixel, giving you a 326 ppi resolution on a really nice 1.5-inch IPS screen. You got accelerometers, heart rate monitors, blood oxygen, of course, is in this one. 400 milliamp hour lithium polymer battery, up to 25 days of use, and 15, that's in the saver mode, the standby, 15 days of typical use. Heavy use, about a week. Continuous voice calling if you want to on this one. I don't know who could talk. Oh, I do. I could talk for 485 minutes. No, don't test me on that. Charging time, about an hour and a half. You got voice call, themes, clock features, health monitoring. All of these things will be showing you on the video. What else? The faces, the always-on display capability. You've got 2 of those. We'll check those out. The different languages supported. It uses FitCloud Pro as the tethering app. And there's your dimensions and temperature performance on it. So presentation-wise, it comes in a really clean appearance in the box. It's sitting right here on the front. You can lift it out. That's the module itself. It's got a cover, says to download FitCloud Pro to get started with it. Edge-to-edge screen on this one, you'll see we've got a couple of buttons and then a twirling knob here with the Z, a Z for you European folks. There's the speaker on this side, microphone somewhere, maybe there. That's probably a pressure relief. Anyway, we've got the different diode sensors and the charging ports on the bottom. Deeper into the box, we reveal the bands. Different band, I presume you can get with this one by picking that out before you put it in your shopping cart. This is coming with the black rubberized bands, contoured nicely. It's got its own pattern on it, really nice bands. And then the charging capability is in here. I hate to destroy these, but the glue is so tight on them, you just have to. Here we go, USB connector that goes to a 2-pin magnetically coupled, easy to attach, pretty strong. Of course, I don't have the bands on it yet, but it holds it really nicely, so that's good. That's for charging it. And then inside, first of all, take a look at the back, because that's got some good information on it in different languages. The ARES 3 and the user's manual, which in English starts out like this. And it's tiny print, and I have to hold it kind of far away. So freeze frame it if you need to. Watch it on your 85-inch TV, right? Oh, wow, that's it? Okay, that's really simple. Basically, download the app, turn it on, and you're good to go. All right, I'm going to put it together for you. Here we go. I love how these bands integrate so nicely with this one. 3 buttons. You got a start and a sport button, and then the round center knob and button. We press the start, give it a second or two. Wait for it, and boom. It just vibrated, comes up with the Zeblaze logo, and boom. It's in its watch face. You're a little slow. Anyway, here we go. This is an opening watch face for this one. We got lots of controls on it. Here we have A circular control, we've got already lit up the Bluetooth connection for phone and music. We'll demo that in a second. We've got overall brightness up here. It can go as low as this and really, really bright. Easy to see outdoors. Keep it at about that level for our review. This is power savings. It'll turn that on and disconnect Bluetooth and some other stuff. This is your do not disturb. That's a good way to turn off that twist your wrist to see the time without having to get deep into it to do that, because there is no control right here. You have to get it into settings. But if you like the twist your wrist to see the time, turning on do not disturb will deactivate it for you. I've got find my phone. Oh no, I'm sorry. This is your voice assistant when you're tethered to the phone, your Siri or your Google. You can go right into here and ask and hear through the speaker, because this is a full-on Bluetooth connected audio calling, music playing watch. Info shows you we're looking at the ARES 3 watch. This is the announce where you are, where your phone is, and I do have it connected, and that's what it sounds like. Inside you got the time, your Bluetooth connection information, phone connection, your power level, and all of that. And settings get you in here. Let's run through these. Your overall menu style is in the list right now, but you have several other ones. Four different ones in circles and bubbles and stuff. You'll see those in the display and the listing when you go into it on the selling page, the buying page. Anyway, that's your overall settings there. Here's where we can turn on the watch face switch, which is actually literally changing the faces for you to see, whichever one you want. It's choosing it. This is one I downloaded from the app. You can download one from, wow, lots and lots of them. You'll see that. I like this. It's animated, gives a really nice overall display, shows you your power level and your basic stuff that you're working with. So we'll leave it on that for a second. That's in the display, watch faces. Brightness you already saw. Screen time, you have 5 seconds to 30 seconds that when you activate it and start doing things, it'll stay on that long before it times out. That's your screen time. Raise your wrist or twist your wrist to see the time. It will stay on for 2 seconds up to 6 seconds for you to look at your watch. So some of them are pretty fixed, slow, or a very short time. By the time you look at it, it's gone. So this is nice that you have the flexibility to do that. I got screen time the longest, and I've got that raised to wake the longest so that we can play with it. Now, just to show you, when it times out like this, and I twist the wrist, it'll light up like that. When it's done, it will turn itself off 6 seconds later right now, and it'll look like that. However, if we come in here and turn on, well, we're still in display, always on display clock. Now, this is a misnomer. It is not always on display. We're going to have a little discussion right now. First, I'm going to show you the digital clock. I'm going to bring us back out of here. This button toggles between all of your apps and the time. And this button, of course, toggles between your running activity. Whoops, and it'll go into whatever one you've got set. But this one will toggle off into the always on display or black. So tapping this one will get you there. Now, this is the digital always on display. And it's going to be there until you twist your wrist to light it up. That'll go for 6 seconds. When it times out, it goes back into always on. Got it? Right. Except this is not always. It's on for 5 minutes, and there's no changing that. So it's okay if you have to twist your wrist and you're moving around a lot. Every time you twist your wrist, it resets that 6-second countdown, that 5-minute countdown, and you got yourself pretty close to always on. But if you're not moving your hand and you happen to glance down and try to catch the time and it's been longer than 5 minutes, it's going to be off. Why, you ask, does that happen? Because this is not an AMOLED display. I'll explain that as we go further in here. I'm going to switch it to analog for you, into display AOD, and we're on analog here. And an AMOLED display, which is Morpheus, is that it? Amorphous? Organic light emitting diode. The LED part's the important part. Each pixel is individually lit up. And because of that, all the black space takes zero power. Only the stuff that's lit up is using electricity. And your battery lasts a lot longer that way with that kind of AMOLED or OLED display. However, 6 seconds later, should time out, when you're using a different type of display like this one that uses backlighting, all right, I don't know why it's not timing out. There you go. There's the always-on display for analog. Okay, and it looks really sharp. White against black and very little white showing. On an AMOLED OLED screen, this would be super good. But this one, I don't know if you can see it, but in the dark, you'll see that there's a backlit. The whole thing is kind of glowing slightly. So there's a light in the back shining through the white pixels, shining through all these pixels. It's always on. The best you can do, you saw it change slightly, and then it went all the way off. It is change the brightness of that light by changing the overall brightness control that you have when you swipe down here, making that as low as possible. This is actually physically changing the brightness of that backlight, but the always-on display doesn't change, and it's at its lowest level, but it's continually lit from behind. So it wouldn't matter if this was in flashlight mode and the whole screen was white. It takes exactly the same amount of power. So the compromise they're giving you on this to give you that illusion of really long battery life is by giving you only 5 minutes and then it turns off. So you're not sleeping with it with this on. You're not attending a class or church or work, and it's always on. It's on for 5 minutes, which combined with the twist your wrist, lighting it up and setting it back again, gives you quite a long time of it having a real watch face on there. But AOD, always on display, is a misnomer. DT number 1, you've seen some watches that they have that claim that same feature of always on, is the worst culprit. It goes into that pseudo always on display, but only for about 5 seconds and then turns off. It's ridiculous. I don't know why they made it so short. Lots of complaints about short battery life, I guess. But this one is a good compromise. 5 minutes you get. You can have digital or analog. Shut down doesn't shut down the watch. It shuts off the always-on display, so when it goes off, it goes black, which is the best way to have it if you want long life. So suggestion there is leave it in shutdown mode and set your screen time down to 2 seconds or 3 seconds, and your raise to wake time really short as well, and you'll get your display when you need it. As long as you're moving, everything's fine, and you won't use up much of your battery. Speaking of battery, you can come in here. Current battery is 60%. I've been loading it to the max, always on, brightest thing, everything, and it's been running down about a day and a half now. So I'm probably going to get maybe 2 days, 3 days, depending on how often I use it and how long the light is on. You're not going to get 75 days when you're using all of this technology that gives you the screen information. Power savings mode, turn that on. It'll tell you that it's going to disconnect Bluetooth and so forth and save you power that way. But that's the same as when we slid down, you got the battery thing there. You can change your vibration and ringing. You can change the modes, so it'll either vibrate, ring, or not, I presume. Mute, vibration, and ring. And here's the intensity of the vibration. There's off, there's soft, there's strong. I know you can't feel it. There's not a lot of difference. This is just a little bit more intense, the strong on that one. That's all you got there. And it says ring. We're not getting a chance to sample any of the sounds. It's just whether it'll ring or not. So it has its own sounds on there. These are the different languages supported directly on the watch. And the ones that are here, I'm presuming if it's on your phone, will be picked up automatically when you put the app on your phone and you tether it to that language. Your QR code for downloading the FitCloud Pro, is it? I'm sorry, I'm not memorizing all of them. We'll be looking at the app in a minute. You can password protect the watch if you want to. Be careful if you forget it. Usually it's a serious situation. You can't flash new firmware to these So yeah, don't lose your password. Then overall system info, shutdown, reset. If you manage to lock the password, if you can get in here to system somehow and do a reset, that will completely erase everything and start you over again. That's been the only way people have been able to get out of a lost password access. And that's everything here in the settings, which we got to from here. We covered everything here. Great. Now, swipe up. Any messages sent from your phone that you set up in the app will show up here. Go over this way. You get a little pull-out window, shows your date, your most recent apps, temperature in Fahrenheit or centigrade, and your phone that you can activate to start making phone calls. Going this way now, we get into all kinds of information. Step count, calories burned, distance traveled. There's the actual number breakdown. This is a 24-hour display of your steps, and the last 7 days are listed there with averages. Really beefy. Usually you only get that stuff in the app, but you've got it here. Here's heart rate. It's going to use the green diodes on the back, give you your high and low, average, all of that stuff. It's just doing funky stuff right now because I don't have it covered. I guess I should put my finger on it. We get heart rate zone and 24-hour heart rate listed here from midnight to midnight, about midday right now, 2 in the afternoon, and then your average heart rate as well. Here's last night's sleep time, hours and minutes broken down into deep and light, and here's a 7-day synopsis of your sleep data. Then you got weather in your area, Fahrenheit, centigrade, your condition, projection for the future days, and that's all that's shown there. And then an overall music player, which, if I got it all set up right, we can play some music through the phone for you so you can test the speaker. All right, the phone had gone off. I talked so much, so long. Here you go. Sound coming out of the watch. Speaker's right here. You can mute it just by covering it. Good and loud. Hole here for the microphone. Pressure relief, I believe, right there. So you got a decent music player. You can skip ahead to the next song or whatever you're doing. And of course, they generally have ads, so we'll pause that. But overall, really, really nice integrated music player, and the voice phone calls have really good quality as well. So that's this one. Then, of course, if there's anything left, you can add it in here. Scroll up, workouts, we can add that. And you can rearrange the order on all of these. And now here's all of the workouts too. So you could get to those by going all the way around if you want to, or of course you can just get to them from here. While we're on these, let's look at them. Walking, running, hiking, the typical things you'd use GPS for, does not have a GPS module in it. So the only way to get GPS and tracking is if you tie it to the app and take your phone along with you. But you have a lot of different workouts, including swimming. This is definitely a waterproof smartwatch. You've got all kinds of things, soccer, cycling. It doesn't look like there's a lot here, but when we get to the app, you'll see hundreds of different activities that you can do. And then you can move those selectively to the watch so you can use them from there. So we went through everything on this. We have gone through everything on here. We have gone through here. Oh, no, we haven't gone through those yet. And we've gone through here, all of your different activities, right? And there's no button on this side. Uh-oh. It's going to go into an activity. This is something, I really wish the second push wouldn't do anything. You have to select something, but it does. So we want to get out of here, back to here, and here. Now, this is listing all of your different activities. So when you have the phone set up and paired, you get the actual telephone pad so you could make a call if you want. Look at your contacts, your call records. Here's where you can activate that voice assistant, press and hold, and that gets you into your Google or Siri, depending on which app you're connected to on which brand of phone. Here's data from your step count information. This is workouts. Again, same way of getting to it from a different way. This is your workout records. So if you have any, they're going to show up here, and you get some information of what your workouts were like, or you can read them on the app after you synchronize it. Heart rate, last night's sleep time, blood pressure is in here now. You don't see that when you're thumbing through, but it's actually going to compute your blood pressure, and it'll show you your last 7 times systolic, diastolic on here as well. Blood oxygen, same kind of thing. It's going to do a computation for you using red diode technology, and this would show you the zone that you're in and your last 7 times on a chart there. Don't have that data, but you get the idea. They would just fill in over there. Basic messages, weather. Ladies, we got you covered. If you enable the female tracking on the app, you're registered as a female, you put in your period date and whatnot, you'll see where you're at here on the watch, as well as in a calendar on the app. There's the music player. We already tested that. You've got breath training for inhaling, exhaling. You can set the duration on this. A basic stopwatch on this one that when you start it, you can't leave it. If you try to leave it, it just pauses it. All of the buttons do that. If you come back to it, which was from here to here, it left it where it was, and you could pick up again if you want to. You can also do lap times if you want to, but you can't have it running in the background and leave it and do something else. You got countdown timers available to you and alarm clocks that you can set. Here's a simple calendar showing you today's date or the month layout, but you can't like put anything in the calendars that's just showing you that. Then you got data, which is that step count data again, it looks like. A calculator is built into this one, which looks like it works pretty good. Gives you numbers. It doesn't give you commas. And oh well. Anyway, it's a basic calculator. It's going to check decimals on that. Find your phone. We already played with that. Check this out. We've got a compass. Having magnets nearby could affect it. So this doesn't work in a car. None of these do because you got so many magnetic things there. But once you get it, look at this. It's got a really nice... Now I'm in the north, so when I'm facing south is that way. It's snappy, it's accurate, and it's coming in the ARES 3. They don't talk a lot about this. I didn't actually know this was here till we just now discovered it. Here's remote camera. That'll tie in with the app. You can take a picture clicking your phone, clicking the watch using your phone. And then we're back to settings, and we've already looked through all of this stuff here, right? All right, let's play with the app now. So FitCloud Pro, we've reviewed this several times, but there's something new that's been added in a recent update I want to cover with you today. This is the icon, what you're looking for. FitCloud Pro in the Google Play Store looks like this. When you got it all set up, you install it, you open it, you create an account, you set up and pair with the watch that you're looking at, and when you open it, after doing all that, you'll land on this opening page here, the home page. This has just been updated, so here are the statistics related to the current step count from early this morning, it looks like, up until now. Okay, it's picking up from 3 a.m. to 7 a.m., 11, and so forth. And here they are, steps per hour, your totals, distance, calories burned, undone. That's the goal that I could set, and it would be listed there. Weekly, monthly synopsis, and this will let you send that information out via email or whatever way you'd like to. Now, all the bottom stuff here is interesting. However, if I slide down there, I open up this, and it says Health Connect. Share data between your favorite apps. Get started. I haven't done this yet, but if I get started, it takes me back to Google Play Store to Health Connect in beta form now from Google. When you get into this, this allows you to share your health and fitness data between different apps, it appears. Set your permissions for what you can do. Control which apps can access what stuff. Manage your health and fitness data all in one place, it's claiming. So hopefully one day we'll be able to play with Health Connect and see how it actually works interfacing together with the phone app that tethers to a smartwatch. But for now, we're going to come back in here. We're going to play with the rest of this, which includes last night's sleep information, a black and white chart, kind of lame in today's technology, but it does tell you in shades of gray between awake, light, and deep sleep. No REM tracking on this one. Here's your total and your breakdown. Today, week, or month, and again, send it out if you want to. That's basically all there is. So it's a little light in my estimation on what you can get in sleep monitoring. There's better apps and better watches for that. Heart rate is in here. You've got it's quick and easy. You hit start, you'll get your heart rate. When you tap on a date, it's going to show you right up to the current moment what your heart rate chart looks like, your highest, average, and lowest. If you do get some anomalies, it's going to record those. It doesn't weed them out. So if you're bouncing around, you're going to get aberrant readings, unless you're in AFib or something like that. But for an instantaneous reading like that, generally something like that at one particular minute means, I don't know, it wasn't fit properly on your arm when it was taken. You can change days right up here if you want to, or you can go into a different day right here too. Here's yesterday evening. It's spread out more, and it shows you the same basic heart rate information. Again, start. We'll take it remotely. I've also got blood pressure. This is systolic over diastolic, and check this out. It's doing continuous blood pressure reading. I think that was while I was asleep up until, 5 in the morning or so. And then we're getting into some higher readings throughout the day. And that's kind of representative of where I am sometimes. Evening while I'm asleep is down lower. But again, this is all reference information, and you need to check with your own calibrated cuff to confirm whether or not the readings match up for you. Same thing for yesterday. We've got that information. So blood pressure and heart rate work, but for some reason blood oxygen does not, and I couldn't find a setting in the app to make it active for 24-hour tracking of blood oxygen. I can get an instantaneous reading by waiting for a minute, letting it do it with the red diode, and it'll come up with a number here, but it still doesn't record it on here. So there's a glitch in the matrix somewhere here that it's not recording blood oxygen. So if you don't need that, that's fine. If you do, this is not going to give it to you. Health measurement, you tap that and all of them go away. It does a 60-second synopsis using just the green diode, not the red, unless maybe partway through it switches to do blood oxygen. But it'll give you your heart rate, blood oxygen, it did it already, and then later it gives you the blood pressure. It takes a while to get there. But that's everything on the basic home screen here, from Health Connect all the way through. You get to device. This is where we got the ARES 3. You can set up push notifications, reminders, sedentary, and drink water. The dial library, I'm going to come back to. Sports push, I wanted to show you this. This is where I mentioned you got so many different activities that you can do. This is all of your different sports listed here. You got them broken into dance, fighting, equipment, balls. I was playing with water. Here's your water things: swimming, boating, skiing. I love all of these. They're fun. Snorkeling, blading, diving. Here's your waist stuff. All the things you can do with core training and such. And even when casual, flexible, oh, look, yoga, rolling. You even have bungee jumping. I can imagine I would work up a pretty good sweat bungee jumping. Sports push, that's called. Weather reports, you can turn them on and off. Raise your wrist, elevated heart rate measurements. Here's the automatic monitoring. You set it to midnight and you get it all day long, or you can set specific times like at night only. Left or right-handed, follow the system for your hour style if you want to, and so forth. And then you put yourself in. You got the women's health information that you integrate with the calendar, and it'll actually post to the calendar for you if you want or not. And I haven't found out how you can activate it without giving it permission to mess around with your calendar. It's something I'm not wanting to do, obviously. So I don't know. That's a weakness, I would think. You can set your overall goals in here, change your units accordingly. There's where you can do Celsius if you want to. Integrate with Google Fit, Health Connect, and We Run. Those are the 3 different ones. Your questions and suggestions and overall settings for cloud syncing, account management, running it in the background. Choose your overall theme, light, dark, or follow the system. Pretty sophisticated. It's getting better and better. There's been a lot of nice updates to this one, so it's pretty decent. So here we are. There it was in the always-on display, sorta. Let's show you a couple of more watch faces. Just twirl the knob and you got them. You got weather reports on some of them. You've got power levels. See, it's dropped from 70 to 60 already. So when you have a heavy usage of all of the activities, it's not going to last a long time, even though it's got a really big battery in it. I think you got a total of 5 different watch faces. So yeah, there's a nice analog one, and when it goes off, you're into that analog face, so they parallel nicely. You can get this directly from the Zeblaze official store, once again, on AliExpress. We appreciate it when you pick it up using the link in the show notes, because that lets them know you saw the review here, made your decision, and decided to buy. And we try to give you a really good price when you do that, either through the flash sale that's currently going on, or if it's gone up because it's off of flash, check to see if I got a coupon discount for you, and you can pick it up through using that coupon when you check out at AliExpress. That's it for today. Thanks for watching, gang, and we'll see you again soon.